got straight on a plane to return. Seeing my wife have to be her strongest and knowing that it's the scariest of news.
Well, happy. Okay, happy's relative, right? If it's fulfilling, if it's rewarding. Because I also believe in putting yourself in uncomfortable positions.
What if I told you that one of Hollywood's biggest heartthrobs has been carrying a torch for someone special for over 20 years? What if that someone was right under our noses this whole time? Brad Pitt has dated some of the most beautiful women in the world, married twice, and had his heart broken in very public ways. But there's one woman who seems to hold a place in his heart that no one else ever could. And the clues have been there all along, hidden in plain sight. Brad Pitt's love story reads like a Hollywood movie itself. From his early days as a struggling actor to becoming one of the most famous men on the planet, his romantic life has always been front-page news. Every relationship, every breakup, every new romance has been watched by millions of fans around the world. But through all the drama, all the headlines, and all the heartbreak, there's been one constant thread that many people have missed. Let me take you back to the beginning, when Brad was just another good-looking guy from Oklahoma trying to make it in Hollywood. Before he became the Brad Pitt we know today, he dated several women who would later describe him as sweet, funny, and driven. One of his earliest girlfriends was a British singer named Sunita. They were together from 1986 to 1988, back when Brad was still nobody special. Years later, she would look back and say he was beautiful with an amazing body. But more than that, he was just genuinely nice. After Sunita, there was actress Jill Sholin, whom he met while making a horror movie. Then came voice actress E.G. Daily, who said she could feel something special about Brad even then. She called him intense about his work and said she felt a strong drive in him towards something really big. Even she knew he was destined for greatness. But it was in the early 1990s that Brad started dating someone who would become really important to his. But it was what happened next that would define Brad Pitt's love life forever. In 1994, Brad met someone at a business meeting. She was America's sweetheart, the star of the biggest TV show in the world. Her name was Jennifer Aniston, and at first, it was just a professional introduction. Jennifer later said her first impression was that Brad was just this sweet guy from Missouri, a normal guy. Nothing romantic happened between them at first. 4 years later, everything changed. Brad had just ended his engagement to Gwyneth, and Jennifer had broken up with her boyfriend. Their managers brought them together again, and this time, something magical happened. Jennifer said their first date was easy and fun. There was something so natural about being together. The world fell in love with Brad and Jennifer almost immediately. When they walked the red carpet together for the first time at the 1999 Emmy Awards, fans went crazy. Brad wore silver sunglasses, Jennifer wore a sparkling dress, and they looked like the perfect Hollywood couple. Just 2 months later, during a Sting concert in New York, they got engaged. Their wedding in July 2000 was like something out of a fairy tale. They had 200 guests, 50,000 flowers, 4 different bands, a gospel choir, and fireworks. Jennifer looked stunning in a beaded silk gown, and Brad couldn't stop smiling. The wedding reportedly cost nearly $1 million, but it wasn't about the money. It was about 2 people who seemed genuinely deeply happy together. What made Brad and Jennifer special wasn't just that they looked good together. They actually seemed to like each other. Brad even appeared on Jennifer's TV show Friends, playing a character who hated her character Rachel. Jennifer joked that Mr. Pitt was wonderful to work with. They started a production company together and supported each other's careers. They seemed like true PA. But here's where the story gets interesting. Even after their divorce was finalized in October 2005, Jennifer said something that showed just how much Brad meant to her. She told a magazine that she loved Brad and would love him for the rest of her life. She called him a fantastic man and said she didn't regret their relationship at all. They had spent 7 intense years together, and she valued everything they had shared. Meanwhile, Brad had moved on with Angelina Jolie. They had met while filming Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and their relationship had grown into something serious. Angelina said they didn't fall in love immediately, but became a real team. By 2006, they had their first child together, and their family kept growing. They adopted children from around the world and had twins. Their life looked perfect from the outside. In 2014, Brad and Angelina finally got married in France, with their children helping write their wedding vows. But just 2 years later, Angelina filed for divorce. Their split was messy and public, involving allegations and investigations. It took until 2024 for their divorce to be fully finalized. Through all of this drama, something interesting kept happening. Brad and Jennifer kept finding their way back into each other's lives, not as lovers, but as friends who clearly still cared about each other deeply. In 2007, 2 years after their divorce, Brad spoke about Jennifer to a magazine. He said they still maintained a deep friendship and had a lot of life together that wasn't erased. He seemed to regret how public their breakup had become, saying it was nobody's business in the end. But it was what happened in 2020 that really got people talking. At the Screen Actors Guild Awards, both Brad and Jennifer won awards that night. When they saw each other backstage, they shared a warm hug that was caught on camera. It had been 15 years since. Look at the evidence. After his split from Angelina, Brad took his time before dating again. When he finally did start seeing other people, none of those relationships lasted very long. It's like he was looking for something he couldn't find. But with Jennifer, it's different. Every time they see each other, they're genuinely happy. They support each other's work. They joke together. They hug like old friends who have been through everything together and still care about each other deeply. Jennifer has never remarried. She's dated other people, but nothing has stuck. She's one of the most beloved women in Hollywood, successful and beautiful and kind. She could be with anyone she wants, but she's chosen to focus on her work, her friends, and her own happiness. And Brad, he's now in his 60s, still handsome, still successful, still one of the most famous men in the world. But he seems different now, more thoughtful, more aware of what really matters. The truth is, some love stories don't have fairy tale endings. Sometimes the timing is wrong. Sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes two people love each other deeply, but can't make it work, no matter how much they want to. But that doesn't mean the love goes away. Real love, the kind that changes you, the kind that makes you a better person, that kind of love stays with you forever. It becomes part of who you are. Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston may not be together anymore, but they've shown us something beautiful. They've shown us that you can love someone, lose them, and still carry that love with you in a way that makes you kinder, more understanding, and more grateful for what you had. When Brad called Gwyneth his angel and the love of his life, he was young and caught up in the passion of the moment. When he was with Angelina, he was trying to build something meaningful for his family. But with Jennifer, it was